The man's head was tightly restrained as Nick snapped the neck of his enemy's driver. But the next moment, Nick lost all memory of what had just happened. As he attempted to wake the driver to ask him something, his nemesis Johnny suddenly appeared with his men, forcing Nick to retreat under heavy gunfire. Meanwhile, Johnny, enraged by the attempted assassination, ordered a citywide manhunt. Back at home, with the help of Lisa, Nick managed to recover his memory once again. Lisa then accompanied Nick as they tracked Johnny's convoy, eventually discovering his hideout. With his fragmented memory giving him little reason to hesitate, Nick charged in without a second thought. As soon as he reached the entrance, one of Johnny's henchmen grabbed his shoulder. Nick swiftly countered, snapping the man's neck with a single move, leaving his head twisted completely around. The other henchmen tried to intervene, but they were no match for Nick, who tore through them like a force of nature. Nick fought his way through every obstacle, from the outside to the interior of Johnny's base. Even when Johnny himself confronted Nick, he was utterly outmatched. Beaten so severely that he began doubting his own abilities, Johnny had no choice but to flee. Nick gave chase but suddenly lost his memory once more. Confused by the carnage surrounding him, he couldn't recall what had happened. To make matters worse, his notebook containing crucial details had gone missing. At that moment, Nick spotted Johnny hiding nearby. Startled by Nick's blank expression, Johnny quickly claimed to be an ally. As Johnny positioned himself behind Nick, he discreetly grabbed a metal rod. Lisa, arriving just in time, shouted a warning, but it was too late. Johnny struck Lisa, knocking her unconscious. However, as Johnny hit the ground with the rod, the sound triggered a flood of memories in Nick's mind. Overwhelmed by rage and vengeance, Nick focused on the man who had caused him so much pain. Nick yanked the rod from Johnny's grasp, and as Johnny raised his hand to defend himself, Nick struck him with overwhelming force, sending him flying. What followed was a relentless barrage of furious punches, leaving Johnny incapacitated on the ground. Finally, Nick picked up the same metal rod Johnny had used and, with poetic justice, delivered the fatal blow, sending Johnny to his end in the same brutal manner. Nick had at last avenged himself and found closure.